Hello and welcome, Forex fans. It's Rob from eXplore, and I'm here today with Humankind, which is Amplitude Studios' upcoming historical Forex game, which I'm really excited to be showing off because A, it's huge, and Amplitude Studios is definitely one of my favorite development studios, and B, because this is a game I've actually been playing for some time, and I'm lucky enough to say that I'm an Amplitude Studios VIP, which means that I was chosen quite some time ago back with Endless Legend to help them test their games behind the scenes, right? And VIPs are chosen based on their participation in the community and how much they're willing to invest in, providing feedback and stuff like that. And I'm kind of obsessed with Forex games. I think you probably know that. So with Endless Legend, I was providing all sorts of crazy feedback, and with Endless Space too. And I was lucky enough to be chosen as a VIP. So I've been privy to a lot of their cool behind the scenes development, and I have been playing this game for some time. But with that being said, I am now playing the OpenDev Stadia scenario. So this is down here in the lower right hand corner. You can see OpenDev Stadia, which is now available to anyone who wants to play. I think it's available for another 3 or 4 days. It's until October 26th. So you can go to Stadia and Google Stadia and come and play this for free. It's a demo. It doesn't require anything other than a Google account. So yeah, if you want to check out Humankind, please, I'll leave the link in the bottom so you can go check it out. But in the meantime, I was going to give it a shot and see how things have kind of changed since the last OpenDev scenarios. And also, I understand there's some differences between the OpenDev and VIP builds. So I'm interested to see some of the changes that they've incorporated based on the OpenDev feedback. With that being said, I've already gone ahead and started a little bit because I thought I hit the record button. I did not. But what we're going to do is we've already split our group. Our initial group here had 2 scouts, and I've split them up so that we can go ahead and scout out more of the surrounding area quicker. And we're going to come over here to Kerma. And it looks like my growth is stagnated, so I'm going to go ahead and build a farm. So we can look to see where that would be most beneficial. Here we'd gain 4 food, but we'd lose 2 industry. I think that's going to be the same here. So this is probably going to be the best spot here. So we're going to gain 4 food right here and lose 2 industry, which is something we can definitely overcome. So not a big deal on the industry lost. So we'll get that done after we are done with our scouts. We've got scouts that are queued up already as part of the OpenDev scenario. All right, so we're going to go ahead and see what our urgent affairs that require our attention. So it all started with Nubia, one of the crossroads of civilization. Nubia was a great trading power possessing a potent military weapon, its archers. Now it's your turn to write the next chapter in their glorious history. How will you be remembered? Grow your capital, explore its environs, and settle new lands. Expand and fortify the city. Build relationships with your neighbors. The fate of your empire is in your hands. So the thing that's separating Humankind from many other Forex games is that there is only one victory condition, and that is fame. And you acquire fame through a variety of different ways. And as you get through each era, you're awarded stars based on a variety of different objectives that you need to meet depending on what your affinity is, right? So we have the merchant affinity. So as you can see in the upper left hand corner, gameplay orientation focused on money and trade, doubles gains of money when selling a resource, halves costs of money when buying resources, and any resource you buy via trade can be repurchased by other empires at a premium. It also unlocks the forward trade action on empire. I don't know what that is, to be honest. I wish that I could mouse over that like a nested tooltip and maybe go over there and see what forward trade is, but I don't actually know what that is. So that being said, there are a variety. I think there's 5 different affinities, and we'll learn more about that as we get to the next era and we can choose the next civilization that will kind of make part of our own, right? So we can choose which affinity that we'll grab at that point, and that will be our next focus for the next era. So with that said, with each of those affinities, the eras are broken down into a variety of objectives based on those affinities most of the time. So you have here, earn 600 money, right? So that's part of our merchant affinity, merchant culture. And then we have our regular ones, our regular era stars that we can gain. So here, destroy a total of 6 military units, control 2 territories within your cities. We can have 6 population and or units within your empire. And each time we do that, we unlock a star. And the more stars we unlock, the quicker we become, or the quicker we get to the next era. So once we've accumulated 7 stars, we go to the next era. And then we can choose from a variety of these other ones, right? So we've taken the Nubians in this particular era because we have to. It's part of the OpenDev scenario. But we could have had said, say, the Romans or the Persians or the Mayans or the Mauryans, the Huns, the Goths, and so on and so forth. And on each era, and there happens to be 6 of them, you can choose one of 10 to be your particular culture. So there's also deeds, right? So there's basically like competitive deeds that we can try to obtain first. So if we become a liege over a vassal empire, we're rewarded with 50 fame. So yeah, these are all things that we're going to be looking at doing as we progress through the game to win. So that's the foundation of this game. That is really what Humankind's all about, but it's also, there's a lot more nuance to it, right? It's not just about like accumulating stuff and, there's wars, there's battles, there's, trying to produce the best cities you can and to win the game in other ways. So there's a lot to winning other than just accumulating a score, because the score is calculated by a variety of different ways. So let's go ahead and choose our first research. We can probably choose granary so we can gain more food. That way we also are going to be gaining more population. And we'll end turn. All right, we're going to take the scout over here and see what's over yonder. I love how the land reveals itself. It like just slowly pops up. And then we're going to take this guy over here and see what this anomaly is here. All right, so animal remains. You can come down here and look to see what it is. Well, nope, maybe not. It's because I already saw it. But normally, if it happened off screen, you'd be able to come down here and see where it was, and it would focus on it. So that's pretty cool. But with those animal remains, I was able to gain some science, which is good. So now I'm at 2 turns left for my calendar progress. All right, so we have an idle army. We're going to continue to move this group up this way. Oh, there's looks like it's like a pretty little valley up here. So let's also look to see, we have this one territory here, right? So part of my feedback through the OpenDev process was that these territories should be completely colored in, as I feel like they become a bit difficult to see as you zoom out and as you start to bump up with other ones. So much like Endless Legend, where you zoom out and you'd see all of this colored in light blue, I would like to see that happen here in Humankind as well. Just as a little UI nuance, right? And what we can do is we're going to look to see what we might expand. So the stone field here is going to provide more money and some industry. So I'm digging it. We're going to do that. We're going to find a good spot over here. Look how cool the details are. You can see little camels over here running around. And in other places, you can come over here to cities and you can see people moving around in the cities as well. I don't think I have enough going on in my city yet, as we're pretty new, we're relatively new. But as they grow bigger, you'll start to see people walking around, carts walking around. It's really cool. It's a lot of really nice detail that I just really appreciate. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and claim a territory. Oh, we don't have 20 influence yet. All right. So we can see our influence here in the upper right-hand corner, which means we're going to need 2 more turns in order to have enough influence to take this particular territory. So we're going to keep moving this way with this guy. And we'll see what else is going on. So the pecking of poultry. The art of divination spreads across the empire. Priests search for the messages from the gods in human entrails. Sorry, in animal entrails. Oh my god. I just changed that very differently. So the flights of birds, the wheelings of the stars, and holy decoctions and elsewhere. Now, however, the practices have become so commonplace, so bizarre, that the whole empire is sliding towards chaotic superstition. Even the eating patterns of chickens are being interrupted by military commanders. So what do? So we can embrace this, And who are we to say how the gods should speak to us? We should be open to all signs. So they'll be celebrating on Kerma, which will add stability. We can forbid this. Divinations outside the officially sanctioned means are pure superstition and must be forbidden. We become fanatical and our faith increases. Or reason, we must use logic and experimentation to discern the true methods of divination. And that'll gain us 5 science. Honestly, I'm a bit more in this realm here. That's how I feel personally. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm there. And that'll add 5 science per turn. So, alright, we've also now gained our next scout. So we'll bring our scout over here and see what happens here. So we've gained a rocky field. Or sorry, I do wish there was a bit... It was like an event thing. I didn't see... I know that we gained some money there, but I don't know exactly why. I wanted to read the little thing. I wanted to read the little pop-up. It happens a little too fast. Alright, so there we go. Our idle army here is going to go ahead and just hang tight. We're going to skip it and end turn. Alright, so we've gained the knowledge of calendar. And with that, we're going to go ahead and also build a granary. Queue up a granary. In 2 turns, we'll have farmer's quarters done, which is great. And that way, we can begin to grow our population here a bit. And let's bring these guys over here. Let's take a look and see what the map reveals over here. It's a very pretty map. And then here, we're going to come over here.
Okay.
Nope, I don't see anything else that's over here. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to go ahead and set it to auto explore and let it do its thing. And we'll go ahead and skip this one as we accumulate enough influence to take this territory. And now we can look to see if do we have any horses, because horse domestication would be important if we do, but I don't see any horses in the immediate vicinity. So maybe we'll hold off on that for now, although animal barns would be nice for the additional food. We can clear forest, lumber yards, which are a very good industry bonus, and then we have Tasseti archers, which is a Nubian thing. I'm going to go ahead and do carpentry. Very good. So now we can go ahead and add this territory. We're going to look to see what might be the best place to go. So here it looks like it'll be 2 food, 10 industry, 4 gold, or 4 money. 5 food, 6 industry, 4 money. That one is not somewhere I can go. 7, 6, and 4. 7, 6, 4. 5, 6, 4. 2, 10, 4. So it looks like this actually is going to be our best spot. The most well-rounded of them all, for sure. So now that we have that one set up, we're going to go ahead and move our... Oh, not yet, sorry. All right, so they're setting up this outpost here on the territory. So we will be able to claim it either as a city or we can add it to Kerma's territory here in a little bit. So we'll do that. Once that's outpost is created, we'll go ahead and figure out what we're going to do with that. All right. Look, there's a little bird, little eagle right there. Super cool. All right. And let's see where they end up moving my army over here.
By building an outpost, claiming territory is this easy. The trick, of course, is keeping it.
That is the trick, isn't it? So we've gained more population, which is great. And we've also gained an era star. So we'll go ahead and take a look to see what era star we gained. So we've gained one from having 12 population and or units within your empire. So actually we gained it by having 6 and we now need 12. So we've gained an era star, which means we now only need 6 era stars in order to make it to the next era, which is exciting. So we can build the Moreau pyramids, which is going to gain us some additional money and some faith, which is nice because we could get some research or some religion going. So this will be a huge bonus. We're going to gain 8 money at this location. Let's make sure that that's not... So we've gained another 8 there. Yeah, we're going to take it here. And that's because we're right up against this porcelain right here, which is great. And then we'll go ahead and start moving these scouts again. Nope, wrong one. We'll come through this valley here. It's going to take 2 more turns in order for it to become an outpost. And then once it does, we can go ahead and consider whether or not we're going to make it a city or we're going to add it to our previous city. I'm leaning towards adding it towards our previous city, especially since we will gain an era star. Where is it? Which one is it? There's one of them. Control 2 territories within your cities. So if we control 2 territories within one city, then we will gain an era star for that too. So I'm going to go ahead and likely add it. So, all right, now that we have the archers and lumber mill, we're going to go ahead and consider somewhere else to go. So we have public fountain, which is going to add stability. Flood irrigation. Do we have any water? Yes, we do. So we'd have actually increase some food there, which I believe would be a good idea. So we're going to use that. And then once we can build irrigation, we're going to have that. So that looks like those, we can come up down here. This is a hexagonal. This just adds the hexagonal grid. Say that 5 times fast. But with this, we can sort of see what we used to be called FIDs, but now I guess it's figs. FIMS, that's what it is. FIMS. All right, so all of these titles here with a little river here are going to add additional food with that irrigation. So I think that'd be a good thing. And it looks like we're about to have a fight. Wow, okay. Who are you? We're going to retreat. We're not going to be able to win that battle, so I'm not going to try to. Alright, so with that being said, someone wants some of this, then they're going to get it. Alright, the one thing I do think is really cool about the fact that, what didn't happen in previous Amplitude Studios games that I do like about here is that when you build a unit, like a military unit here, it does cost 1 population. So we have to keep an eye on our population. Population is extremely important in this game for a variety of reasons, because of course they are going to exploit their resources and their tiles better the more you have, but also because military units will cost a population point. So that's important to have, right? Alright. So a world deed was locked. A world deed has been locked by another empire. So unfortunately we won't be able to do that. Alright, knowledge is power. Irrigation researched. Very good. So we'll take something else. Let's consider something like this, where we can gain some science per researchers. And then we have a market quota too, which would be important for us. We'll also gain a civics point, which is going to be fun to look at once we get to that point. So let's go ahead and do that. We're ever so slightly stronger than these bears, so we're going to go ahead and try and take them out. So we're going to deploy right here. Actually, no, we're going to deploy right there. Alright, so get the high ground there. And we'll go ahead and attack. Very good. And we took very little damage because we had the high ground, which is good. Gives us a nice attack bonus. And we have been victorious. Alright. Very good. So we'll continue to move on. Actually, no, these guys are auto-explore, so we'll just let them continue to auto-explore. Here, though, we're going to... Oh, look at this. There's more barbarians over here. They're actually not barbarians, my bad. They are minor factions. And we're going to get away from them for right now. We're going to leave them be. Let them just exist in peace. And now we have this here. So we can go ahead and look at this way. We can either click on this chain link here, or we can come through and actually... No, maybe you can't anymore. I thought you could. I thought there was a way to connect it through here, but it does not appear that way. No, there it is. Okay, so it's the same thing. So we can open the list of adjacent cities, or we can open the list of adjacent outposts, depending on whether or not you're clicking on an outpost or clicking on a city. So we're going to go ahead and attach this. Oh, we don't have quite enough. We need 1 more turn's worth of influence, and we're going to make that happen. So we're going to go ahead and stay here. Actually, we're going to defend this here because it looks like they're going to attempt to possibly take this. And I wouldn't want that. So Let's see if we can also move these guys around. We're going to bring this up here. Get these archers going. Because it looks like they're going to be a pain in the butt. The flooded lands. An unrelenting deluge of rainfall lashes down upon the great city of Kerma and the surrounding lands. If the rains don't stop soon, the banks of the great river that threads through the city will burst, flooding the adjacent quarters. With limited time and resources, the choices are stark. What do? We gamble, we leave it to its fate, and maybe the rains will cease. That's chance to trigger terrible consequences. Adapt, limited adaptations. Adaptions should mitigate the biggest risks, and the rains might relent in any case. Chance to trigger bad consequences, and then if but the problem is we need to spend 60 money here, 60 gold, whatever, 60 money, or 120 money. And I don't have 120 money. So I'm going to try to limit the bad consequences here by adapting. And hopefully it won't result in a bad event for me. It could though. Who knows? Alright, so I knew they were probably going to attack me. Alright, so curiosity collected. We'll come over here and see what that is. Animal remains. Gained 5 science. And now we have to figure out how to do this battle. We're going to do our best to deploy in a good way. So we're deploying up here from Kerma, which is actually a good place to deploy. So with the high ground, we might have a chance at doing something to these guys without... Oh, looks like they're still going to beat me. Alright, so they took it. they beat me down. Let's go ahead and add the outpost before they can take it and pillage it. So we're going to... We've added it, so we can now see that it's increased our industry, increased our money, and increased our science. But yeah, and the great thing is that I won't lose the outpost if they pillage it. But if they pillage it, it'll seriously decrease my output there. At least that's the way it has been. I don't know if it's still that way. So we'll find out. So, or yeah, we've lost the battle. Unfortunately, I would love to be able to rush these, but I'm not going to. I don't have 83, and plus I just spent all that money on the flood mitigation. So, all right, let's see what we've got over here. We've gained. Looks like we've gained an additional warrior unit, so that's great. We're gonna combine these guys. Okay, they confirmed battle here. You're gonna go here. Oh no, there's 2 bears. There's 2 bears. Let's go ahead and hit them here. Let's see if we can... Yeah, I don't know. 2 bears might be too much. So we got 1 bear. This bear might... Oh, okay, good. We got lucky. Very good. Alright, so... This particular scout is about to die. These warriors here might be good to bring back this way so we can shove off that minor faction. Ooh, looks like there's a major faction just north of us. So we'll have to go see who they are and what they want. Let's go find out what this little curiosity is.
Greetings to the Nubians. Now there's some good fortune. A neighbor who may be more interested in commerce than conflict.
Very good. So we've gained population, and we've also gained some money, which is great. And let's go ahead and take a look at... Well, okay, I guess they're just not available yet, which is fine. So we can take a look and see what these guys are. These guys are the Hyksos, and they're violent and zenith. So, yeah. No thank you. Let's get away from them. Oh, this guy's still an auto-explorer, which is fine. Honestly, if I lose them, it's fine. Just 1 scout. They're easy to remake.
Let's do it.
There we go. So, very good. We gained additional science. That's great. So, let's go ahead and move over here And I don't see where that little army was. There we go. The flooded lands feature fortune favors you. Thank God. The skies above Kerma grew darker and darker. The deluge like a sea being tipped upon a city. But then suddenly the clouds parted and the rains relented. Days of sunshine followed and the threat of floods are no more. I got lucky. Very good. I will take it. And let's get this Tasseti archer done so we can move over here. We'll combine these two groups and start working our way over that. Ooh, let's go see what this is real quick. While we're here, world deed locked. So it looks like some people are getting world deeds done. So looks like one by Empire, planetary observation. No, there's no way. The sacred ground, build a holy site was probably one. Just weird spacing. So be the first to discover Vinikunka. That was one by an empire that I don't know. And it looks like another one was that they built a holy site. So it is what it is. That's fine. We're going to try to get to the air faster than anybody else. So earn 600 money. We've gained 117. Built 5 extensions. We've built 1 and we're about to build a second one soon. And we need a total of 200 influence. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's here. And we'll bring these guys back over here. And then partner them up with that archer group. And then make our way over here to take out that army. Just because it's a nuisance. And because it took out my old army and I don't like it. Yes, sir. I will seek vengeance. Alright, curiosity collected. So what do we get? We gained additional money. Money. Let's look to see what's going on here. So here we are here in the middle. And we down here, or there's up here, there's another faction. But there's also one down here too, the orange. So it might be worth pushing my scouts down here. We'll take off the auto explorer and come down here and see who these people are. It's a fine plan to me.
Rapid and dangerous, the Hittites. Get ready to hear the sound of chariots when you least expect it.
Cool. So I've run up into a militaristic faction. As a civilization of similar stature to your own empire, the newcomer is likely to be an ally or an adversary for many centuries or even millennia to come. They seek the same goal as yourself, to build a legacy that will not be forgotten.
Greetings, Sovereign. I ask only that you always be courageous and sincere.
Surprise war! No, I'm kidding. So, there's a bunch of different things we can do here, right? So we could trade with them if we had anything of any sort of strategic resources to trade or luxury resources like they have. We can also consider treaties, so we could open our borders or tolerate skirmishes. Or, reveal capital. We could reveal capital. No, we've already done that. Sorry, that's my apologies. So we already tolerate skirmishes. We already have open borders, which is, it is what it is. And then we can only trade luxuries right now. We could offer to trade everything, and we could offer to share maps. So we can just change the way we have, our relationships in a variety of different ways. So pretty cool. Definitely a little bit more detailed and intricate than your average diplomacy system. And let's go ahead and take these bears out and call it an episode. Confirm battle. Very good. So we're going to go ahead and with the archers, we're going to try to take the high ground. So we'll come over here with the archers and deployment. And we're going to hit them from here. And didn't do as much damage as I'd hoped, but that's okay. And you guys will probably end up just staying here. So we're going to defend this position. It's a high ground, I like it, so we're going to do just that. And you're going to do the same thing. And can we see where the other ones? No, not yet. So there we go. Knock them out with our arrows and call it a day. Very good. So, the Nubian Empire is becoming ever so slightly stronger as time goes on. and we will continue our playthrough in the next episode. I'm hoping you're enjoying this. Like I said, if you guys haven't already, or if you're interested, you could definitely check this out on Stadia and the OpenDev scenarios, and then afterwards you can leave them feedback based on how you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it. I'm personally really liking this game. I don't like Historical 4X much anymore, and somehow Amplitude Studios has managed to get me to like it again. So yeah, my hat's off to them. I'm really enjoying this OpenDev scenario. I'm really enjoying some of the stuff that I'm seeing behind the scenes that I can't talk about. And we will continue playing this through the demo period. So thanks for watching, and until next time, this was Rob from eXplore. Keep exploring.